All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about the internet. Not just the one we use every single day, but also a new one that's being built as we speak. This is going to be fun. So, let's start with a really simple question. Just think about it for a second. That photo you posted last week or that video you shared, once it's out there on your favorite app, is it still, truly yours? That question right there, that's at the very heart of everything we're going to unpack today. To make this super easy to understand, we're going to use a little story. I want you to imagine Web2, that's the internet we all know and use, as this massive, shiny department store. And then there's Web3, the new kid on the block. Think of that one as a huge open-air flea market where anybody can set up their own little stall. Okay, so let's jump into our first section here and figure out who's actually running the show in these two different worlds. Is it one big boss calling all the shots, or is everyone kind of in it together? In this picture, well, it just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got our Web2 department store. See how everything connects back to that one point in the middle? That's because it's centralized. One company is in charge. But then look at the right. That's our Web3 flea market. It's decentralized. The power is spread out among all the people there. No single boss. So in that department store, just think about apps like YouTube or Instagram. The company that built the app, they're the boss of the entire store. They own the building, they decide what you can and can't sell, and they make every single one of the rules. But at the flea market, things are totally different. You actually get to own your own little corner of it. Your photos, your videos, your digital art, that's like the stuff you're selling at your very own stall. And guess what? It belongs to you, not the person who owns the parking lot. Okay, so let's push this idea a little bit further. We know who's in charge of the place. But what about your actual stuff? Your data, your posts, your creations. Let's dig into who really owns it. This table here makes the difference just crystal clear. In the Web2 department store, the company, the store, owns your data, and they keep it locked away on their own private computers. But in the Web3 flea market, you own your data, period. And it's not stored in just one place. It's shared securely across the entire market. It's like every single stall owner has a copy of the official records, so nobody can secretly change them. It's transparent, and it's super safe. So you've probably noticed that walking into the department store is, free. So how in the world do they make any money? And how's that different from the flea market? It's time to follow the money. Right, so in that department store, you're not actually paying with dollars and cents. Nope, you're paying with something way more valuable. Your personal information and your attention. The store watches what you do, what you like, and then uses that info to sell ads. So, in a way, you're the product being sold. The flea market, on the other hand, is way more direct. When you do something like sell an item from your stall, you just pay a really small fee to the network itself. In the Web3 world, this is often called a gas fee. Just think of it like a tiny toll you pay to keep the whole market up and running safely for everyone. Now, this huge difference in ownership and money, well, it also completely changes how things get built and how they get fixed in these two internets. Are we building something that's easy to change or something that's meant to last forever? Exactly. In our department store, if a shelf breaks, the manager can fix it in 5 minutes. They can rearrange the whole store overnight if they want. But at the flea market, a deal is a deal. It's final. The rules are baked right into the system, written in code that is incredibly hard to change. It's like a contract that's set in stone. That makes it really secure, but it also means you have to be way more careful from the get-go. And because you can't just hit an undo button in Web3, the people building these things have to be extra careful. So what they do is hire these special security companies to double and triple check all of their code for any tiny mistakes before it goes live. These checks are called audits, and they are an absolutely critical step to keeping everyone's digital stuff safe. So we've been talking about these two internets like they're totally separate places. But what happens when these two worlds start to, collide? What if our giant department store decided to open up its very own flea market right inside? Let's explore what that might look like. This little roadmap gives us a cool idea of how it could work. Imagine our department store and our flea market decide to team up. Year 1, they connect their systems. By year 2, they're using smart AI tools to protect everybody. Then in years 3 and 4, they start introducing brand new kinds of products. These are special digital items, like a one-of-a-kind collectible, that you can actually prove you own. And then by year 5, they could take this amazing new hybrid store global. You know, when you boil it all down, it really comes to this simple idea. Web2, our department store, is all about making things easy and convenient. Web3, our flea market, is all about giving you true, provable ownership. It's about putting you in control of your digital life. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. And this one's for you to think about. As the internet keeps changing and growing, which of these two things do you think is more important? Is it the slick, easy-to-use convenience of the department store, or is it the real ownership and control you get at the flea market? The answer to that question is going to shape the future for all of us.